achieved.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Studio Day Heffrey, and a good morning to you. We're up early today, 8:15 a.m. video. Who's up early? Got the patch on. Rock and roll. Let's get it. All right, two quick topics today before maybe I get to other things. I don't know. I never know. Remember to leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. I'll try to take care of you. YouTube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh. I need you to subscribe, turn on the notifications, and then leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. Two big topics today. The first one I think Cowboy fans will appreciate is about Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, the play caller. There's a really cool article written yesterday, and it was written by Mike Clay. He's writing about fantasy football, really, and how he kind of projects what players are going to do. But the article was also about all 32 play callers in the NFL. Like, all right, they've been calling plays for this long. Here's the tendencies. Here's kind of what we know about them. Kellen Moore's only been a play caller for 16 games, right? And we don't know how much the Jason Garrett effect affected him. But I want to read their little blurb, Mike Clay's little blurb on Kellen Moore as the play caller for the Cowboys. Obviously, he's called 16 games to this point. Kellen Moore called a balanced offense in his first and only season as a play caller in Dallas last season. We can't learn much from the small sample, especially with the head coaching change to extremely pass-heavy Mike McCarthy. Yes! Yes! Sorry. Yeah, pass-heavy Mike McCarthy. But volume was enormous in Moore's first go-around. Dallas finished 9th in pass attempts, 3rd in average depth of target, 8th in running back carries, 23rd in running back targets, but 7th in routes, 8th in wide receiver targets, and 9th in tight end targets. Okay, so what does all that crap mean? The important part to me, and this is a combination of Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott, obviously. Dak's the one making the decisions and throwing the ball. But things that I really like in the NFL, a lot of people talk about how good is a running back at pass protection. And that is important if you're asking him to pass protect. You know what I like better than pass protection from running backs? Get in the route. More people in the route. If you want to blitz the quarterback, come get some. Get diced up. Dak's a good quarterback. Blitz him if you want to. Get the running back out of the way. And if nobody covers him, have the football. I don't need you in here when you could be out here as a weapon trying to block this guy. I don't care about this guy. You go that way. I'll give you the rock. I give somebody the ball. Blitz me. Come get it. Come get some. So check it out. This is what I like so far on the early returns. This is my Kellen Moore optimism here. 9th in pass attempts, 3rd in average depth of target. So they're top 10 in pass attempts. They're pushing the ball down the field. They are 23rd out of 32 teams in running back targets. So they're not throwing to the running back much, despite the fact that they're top 10 in the league in routes run by the running back. So they are putting the running back into pass routes and not throwing to him. That's a win, baby. That's good stuff. Because throwing to running backs is less efficient than throwing to tight ends or wide receivers on average. So you only throw to running backs in spots where you have a very particular plan for the reason of it, or if it's a check down, which we don't want to do too much of, right? So the fact that I just nailed the desk with my knee. The fact that we are putting the running back into the route, but not targeting the running back a bunch, that's good for offense. Get it to the tight ends, get it to the wide receivers. That way you are averaging way more yards per play. Push the ball downfield. I like it. I like it. I like it. Now, as Mike Clay points out, Kellen Moore's been an OC for 16 games. How much of an influence was the head coach? Talking to Broadus yesterday, I think he brings up a great point. Early in the season, didn't it seem like the offense was hyper-aggressive, hyper-creative? A lot of pre-snap motion, a lot of moving around. Everything about it looked awesome, right? It looked great. And then as the season wore on, they kind of pulled it back. I love Broadus' theory. Brian Broadus, 105.3 The Fan. Where it's like, do you think Kellen Moore was preparing an offense thinking, hey, Zeke's holding out. I won't have Zeke. Because we do know that some of the things that Jason Garrett likes to say in his in his offensive meetings is, hey, remember, we got 82. Guys, remember, we got 21 back there. Like, remember, we got Zeke. Remember, we got Witten. Remember, we got Zeke. Remember, we got Witten. Well, bye, Witten. Okay? So that, you're free of that. And then remember, we've got 21 is cool on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. If you can give it to him, that's cool. But I don't need the head coach beating down the offensive coordinator with, remember, we could just cram it up there behind the right guard all day. That's a terrible plan. It's awful. So, Kellen Moore, early returns based on what we can learn about the depth of target, about where the ball is going. Things are good. Things are good. But, yeah, the broadest theory would be they prepared without Zeke, or they prepared as if they wouldn't have Zeke, and then a few weeks into the year as he's rolled back into shape and ready to rock, you got Jason Garrett. Remember, we got 21. We don't need to be motioning around and throwing all, just, we got 21 now. 21's ready to rock, and suddenly your offense is bland and less fun. This is not Zeke's fault. Don't tell me that I'm a Zeke hater right now. This is not Zeke's fault. I'm blaming the coach. You heard me blame the coach. I'm not blaming the running back. He can only do what he's told to do. Run hard, Zeke. Be in shape to start the year. And get well soon, of course. But apparently he's asymptomatic with the COVID-19, so should be fine there. So that's Kellen Moore. I'm optimistic about Kellen Moore. Leave in the comments why you are or aren't optimistic about Kellen Moore this year. Now, that's that. Second thing we got to get to today. I've got a real love-hate relationship with a guy named Adam Schein at NFL.com. So Schein, what he does is he does a lot of lists. People do love lists. So he does the Schein 9. If there's 9 things. This time there wasn't 9 things, so it wasn't the Schein 9. But Adam Schein, I go back and forth between featuring his content and saying, all right, thanks for the content, Adam Schein, and banning him from the show. G-Bag Nation. He's currently banned from the show. I got to stop banging my knee on this old desk. My desk is not made for that. Shiny is currently banned from the show. And here's the reason why. What Schein did is he put out a list of ranking the divisions by quarterback. Right? You break up every division in football, and then who has the worst quarterbacks, who has the best quarterbacks, blah, 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 blah. And the order that he went with, let me see if I still got this somewhere, is just terrible. It's a terrible list. And Schein, I told him on Twitter, I told Schein, I said, you're banned from the show until your next list. So he's banned from the show currently because he, in his ranking the 8 NFL divisions by quarterback, put the NFC East at 8th. Now, I don't care. I'm not here to defend the NFC East. I don't care where they rank on the list. My only problem is they're at number 8, and at number 7 is the AFC East. The AFC East is infinitely worse than the NFC East at quarterback, so don't be putting lists together like that if you're not going to put them in the right order, Shiny. Come on, Adam Schein. That's why you're banned from the show till your next list comes out, and then I'll put you right back in the show. So what I wanted to do was fix his work, right? He put the NFC East as dead last in quarterback play. Dak, Carson Wentz, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins. Now, Dwayne Haskins is the tricky one. His last 2 games were pretty good. His first 3 games were awful. So compare that to the AFC East. Here, let's have fun. Who's ready to do this? AFC East is Josh Allen, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Jarrett Stidham, and Sam Darnold. It's cool. Like, what happened is Adam Schein's an East Coast guy. He's a New York guy, right? So he's like, oh, yeah, Sam Darnold's going to be a star. Sam Darnold's been a trash bucket his whole career so far, except the game against the Cowboys. And I don't mean that as an insult, Sam Darnold. I liked you coming out of college, and I hope you make it and they surround you with better players. But to pretend you can rank him anywhere other than bad at this point in his career is asinine. Jarrett Stidham has never played, sucked at Auburn. To pretend he's going to be anything other than bad is asinine. Make him prove it. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's actually kind of okay. But he also is really large and his face is kind of melding into the rest of his body. And then Josh Allen is bad. I mean that. He needs to learn to throw the ball. So here's what I did. I decided, why don't we throw some evidence in the mix? Let's check the QBRs of all these guys last year, add them all up, average them out, and see how the divisions turn out. So the way it turns out is the NFC East, I was right. They're better than the AFC East. but they are second to last. But that's okay, because that was my only beef, is don't put them behind the AFC East. So the NFC East is the 7th best of the 8 divisions at quarterback play when you average out their QBRs. Dak 70.2, Wentz 60.8, Daniel Jones 53.6. Haskins is the wild card, 26.4. That's the worst QBR in football, or if it's not, it's really close. It was terrible. His first 3 games were bad. His last game, he had a 90-something QBR. The game before that, I think it was in the 70s. So if we're a fifth, we'd all be drunk or something. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to replace Dwayne Haskins' actual QBR last year with the placeholder QBR that I'm giving to all rookies, which is like 48.5. If you do that, the NFC East becomes the 3rd best quarterback division. And if you say that's unfair and I have to keep his 26.4 that was a product of his first 3 games in the NFL, that's fine. But just know, the NFC East could fluctuate. It could be a fluctuator. You know, somebody puts on some weight, loses some weight, puts on some weight, loses some weight. The AFC East is dead last, of course. Josh Allen's QBR 47.3, Sam Darnold's 43.6, which means even my low number placeholder that I'm going to give to Jarrett Stidham and every other, well, he's not a rookie, but I'm giving to guys who haven't played, or rookies, or Tyrod Taylor, guys who don't play often. I'm giving them a 48.5 because it just seemed like a fair number. That would be the 2nd best in the division. The placeholder bad QBR is better than Josh Allen and better than Sam Darnold last year. It's not better than Ryan Fitzpatrick, though. So 8th, AFC East. 7th, NFC East. 6th, NFC North, with Trubisky/Nick Foles. Matt Stafford leads the way in QBR, although he got hurt. Kirk Cousins 2nd, Aaron Rodgers 3rd. QBR hates Aaron Rodgers. And Trubisky was awful, 39.5. 5th best quarterbacks, 5th best division for quarterbacks is the AFC South. Deshaun Watson leads the way, 68.7 QBR. Ryan Tannehill, 62.2. Phillip Rivers, washed, 48.6. And Gardner Minshew, 42.6, average of 55.5. That is the 5th best in the NFL. Shiny, get your list right. Who's 4th best? Where'd they go? It's 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's the 4th best. He called this the best quarterback division, but according to the numbers, they're the 4th best. The NFC South, Drew Brees leads the way, 71.7. Matt Ryan, 57.6. Tom Brady, 53.7. Teddy Bridgewater, 48.9. Average of just under 58 for the QBR in the NFC South. Puts him at 4th best by the numbers. I know Tom Brady's supporting cast was terrible, and we got to factor those in a little bit. So if you want to give them a little bump and say Brady's supporting cast was bad, that's cool. I'm cool with it. And if you want to say Matt Ryan's better than a 57 most years, that's cool. I'm cool with it. See, I'm cool with common sense. I'm just not cool with the AFC East being ahead of the NFC East. The 3rd best division for quarterbacks in the NFL is the NFC West. Russell Wilson leads the way with his QBR at 69.8 last year. Jimmy G, 58.8. Kyler Murray, 55.7. And Jared Goff, 48.5. That's the placeholder number I went with for rookies and guys who don't play much. It's the same QBR as Jared Goff last year. 2nd best. This is where the placeholder does come into play. 2nd best quarterback division is the AFC West. Patty, 76.3. Derek Carr, 62.2. Actually played pretty well last year. Placeholder for Tyrod Taylor / Justin Herbert, 48.5. And Drew Lock, 48.2. Works out to 58.8 on average. And that is your 2nd best division for quarterbacks. And number 1, who Shine Dog put 4th. But they're number 1 by the numbers. Kinda. This one's kind of cheating. The AFC North, the great Lamar Jackson, 81.8 QBR last year, obviously led the NFL, won the MVP. Big Ben, I had to go back 2 years to before he was hurt, 69.6, which is a really strong number. You could project him to not be that good after a year off and looking like he's eating a lot. Baker Mayfield, 52.4. Joe Burrow, placeholder of 48.5, puts him at 63.075, which is by far number one in the league on average for QBR. And that doesn't even factor in that Baker's about to bounce back. This is Baker's year. Baker and I about to take over the world. So that's what I was doing today. I'll try to get some of your guys' questions in. Breakfast should be on the porch right now, so I need to go grab it before it gets cold. Chicken fried steak. Gavin Dawson thinks is a terrible food. I think it's delicious. So, yeah, do you go gravy on your chicken fried steak or on the side? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube page, youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh. Listen to 105.3 The Fan every day. 105.3thefan.com has lots of sports for you. And I will catch you guys. I'll probably make another video today because, like I said, I got the patch on. I'm feeling more energized. Practicing my gratitude. Somebody asked me about my depression yesterday and how I handle it. And I talked about reading, and somebody in the comments was like, reading's actually not necessarily good for depression. Well, I wasn't talking about just reading fantasy books, which I do that too, to escape. Escaping is a lot of fun sometimes. But I was talking about, like, right now I'm reading Brene Brown, the, what is it? The Gifts of Imperfection, something about that. I learned something new last night. It's about practice. Like anything else in the world, it's about practice, right? You're trying to beat your depression. You're trying to beat your anxiety. And, yeah, it'll always be there to some extent, probably, and that's cool. Just know you're not alone. I got you. I'm with you. See how much energy I have? I'm like the micro machine guy if I'm not using tobacco. And I learned it's about practice. So I'm going to do my gratitudes this morning, give it a closed eye or a meditation. It's about practice. You got to practice. You got to practice. You got to practice. There's practice to do. I don't know why I'm rambling about that, but have a great day. I'll see you guys on the radio, okay?